Hello again. Let me see if I can sit down without crushing any bees, get stung in the butt. Okay. So, we have our swarm, and they're acting funny. So, we caught them this morning over here at this tree, and we caged our queen, which is normal. I get home a little bit ago, and they are swarming the sky. So I'm like, maybe the queen got out of that clip. Don't think so. She's still in there. I checked. So they're actually coming back to the box like, hey, you were supposed to leave with us, and you didn't. What gives? So we're going to see if they go on home. Man, that buzz, though, is like something else. It's wild. Turn you guys around so you can see how many bees are actually in the sky. I'd very much like for this swarm to hang out. Let's see, they might get spicy with me. They don't like the phone. Hello, hello. I'm playing with the swarm right now. Welcome. Welcome to the live. Caught these guys earlier, but they decided that they were going to try to swarm again. Better real estate around here, there must be. Well, that one I have their queen. I guess they realized I had the queen, so they decided to come back. That box a minute ago was empty besides my queen cage. I popped it open to think maybe she slipped out. If she was a virgin, she wouldn't be like as thick as they need to be to stay in that cage because it's got slats in it. But I checked, she's in there, and they came back. So I'm just having my coffee, sitting down. Nice grass on this hot, almost summer day. I actually was just at another beekeeper's place, and I get there and I see this activity. I'm like, huh, I've got swarm activity. I look in his trees, he's got 2 swarms, big beards of bees just sitting there. And I'm like, hey, bud, never met you before, but you got some swarms. And he goes, want to help me catch them? I go, yes, I do. It's always fun meeting new beekeepers. These guys are starting to make their way back, sort of, slowly, surely. That one decided to almost slap me in the face. Making sure they're not making their way up into a tree somewhere. I don't think they would. Oh, if you've ever smelled Nasinoff gland, it smells, I don't know, it's like this sweet honey type waxy smell. It smells like fresh wood workshop. It's just like this smell that's in the air from the bees' Nasinoff gland saying the queen's over here. It just smells so good. Once it's not the banana smell, that's the attack pheromone, then he's running. But usually we don't have Africanized bees around here. I'm all the way up in New Jersey. And there could always be a chance for hybrids. They say that they're making their way up higher and higher. But I think the numbers on it for Africanized genetics, they'll actually take samples for like 99 0.5% of the genetics sent in. When they come to do genetic testing and see if your hive is Africanized, it comes back normal. So, the Africanized genetic, I'm pretty sure is just, it's here, but like sometimes you get spicy bees and that's that. Just because your bees are angry doesn't mean that they're Africanized. But I'll tell you what, angry bees are the ones that produce the most honey. When you have nice bees, they're just like, I'll give you like 10 pounds, the rest is going to be for me. When you have like angry bees where you have to put a suit on or possibly risk some stings, you get 40 to 80 pounds of hive. So you want to find that balance. You want to find the balance of like, do you want nicer bees that are easy to work, or do you want the in-between, so like slightly angry bees? And then you have to like, so it's like a balance of, are they good against varroa mite and like tracheal mite? Are they good against overwinters? Are they good, docile, but like a little aggressive, but good at honey storage? There's so many different traits that you look for when you're getting honeybees. It's actually pretty insane. And actually, they have vaccinated queens now against American foul brood. It's a disease that's like very transmittable. If it's found in any of your apiaries or your yards, you actually have to burn all the equipment. I believe wax dipping it, as long as it stays over 300 degrees for like, I think it's 3 minutes or longer, you're good to go. So like if you had a wax dip station, you kept them underneath for like 2 or 3 minutes, whatever the time frame is, it kills everything. It's not necessarily going to work when you have wax foundations or plastic foundations. They might melt over that 100-something degree mark, but your wood frames would be fine, your wood boxes would be fine, so like things like that right there. If you want, I'll pop these guys open real quick just to take a peek at them and see if they're... Sorry guys. Hello. Alright, watch out. I don't want to hurt anybody. Watch. Okay. Yeah, so they've come down out of the air pretty good right now. We got one that does not like my phone at all. There's always that one. And if I drop the phone, it's probably because I got nailed. Yeah. These girls, they're going to have to stay the night, start drawing wax for me. I've had so many swarms this year, I've actually run out of wax or drawn comb foundation, where the bees have drawn out their foundation, their honey cells. Usually when you have old foundation, the bees like it. Hold on. I got one buzzing the tower. Over here a little bit. Sorry. Okay. So, usually, as I was saying, when you have old comb, it smells like a queen. The queen has a place to start laying immediately. Oh my god, this bee is still on me. I'm probably gonna get stung right now. Okay. Oh, there she goes. Back to the hive. Good girl. And when it smells like the queen, they normally like to hang out and stay. I am working with totally blank frames, so it's got foundation in it, or plastic foundation, and they just have to build out to draw the comb onto that. A swarm is actually more inclined to draw because usually they're older bees and their wax glands are more mature and ready to go, and they will gorge themselves on honey before they leave the hive to make sure that they have the stores necessary if they were to find a tree hollow that's blank, to start drawing and have a effective hive. But this is how bees reproduce and mate. They'll take a new queen. So I actually simulated a swarm from this hive last week. They just decided they were going to still swarm. Basically, I took the old queen out. I put her into her own box. She started laying. I shook out a bunch of worker bees with her, so she had forces. There were queen cells in this hive. Instead of splitting it into 2 different hives, I decided to let it rock and roll. Normally, a queen will hatch. She'll go around stinging out all the other cells, and then go on a mating flight, come back, usually, and maintain the hive as her own in the coming days to years. This time they decided to swarm. I'm assuming she felt the colony was still too big. There might not be enough space, and she took half the bees. She actually took half the bees, well, 2 queens took half the bees twice. On Tuesday they swarmed, and then this is the second swarm. First one I was not able to catch, just because they were like 40 feet up in the tree. I tried. I just failed. And it was the biggest swarm I've ever seen in my life. Must have been 12 pounds of bees. This is definitely a good amount of bees in here. I'd say probably like 5 to 6 pounds, 5 to 7 pounds. And I have gotten swarms like this before. What I need to do is cut out a piece of plywood so I could box up that entrance. They might feel too open in there, and that may be why they tried to swarm out. But yeah, when you leave the queen, they're just like, wait, what just happened? It's like driving a car with no steering wheel. It's just like you leave and you're just like, who's driving? Well, they're definitely all pretty much back. That was wild. That's so wild. I thought there was a little bit too much traffic over here. Maybe what I'm gonna do is once it like gets around sundown, I'm gonna move them across the yard, spin their direction that they're in, and I'm actually gonna put something like this. I'll put that like directly in front of their hive, so when they do come out of it, they'll have to like reorientate, so they'll think that that will be home. And they'll draw comb pretty quickly with this amount of bees. They're probably gonna be 1 or 2 days, and they'll have at least 1 frame drawn out. I'm gonna give them 3 days before I release the queen though. She might be a virgin, she might not be, since she can't get out of that clip. So she might have came out, mated on that original hive, the parent hive, and then once she was mated, laid some eggs to give them a chance if they needed to make new, and then took half the bees and went out on their own. But man, that was crazy. You think like when a swarm happens, you're like, oh, that's awesome, but then they try swarming twice in a day? No thanks. It's a lot of work. Well, anyway, I will update everybody on this hive in like a day or two, so let's hope that they stick around. I'll catch you guys.